So, how to make friends at university. I'm going to jump in with 3 quick points before I start the video. Basically, number 1, am I qualified to teach this? Well, I've spent 2 years at university, got another 2 to go, and I've spent a lot of time, met a lot of people, and I've found a group that I really enjoy spending time with, in fact multiple groups. So from that element, I'd say tick. Who's this video for? People new, people going to join the university, and also anytime there's a term break generally, like you can apply all term round, but it's more effective during term breaks for anybody who's already there, as well as new people joining. Although the content at the start will focus more on the freshers. Thirdly, what sort of tips will it feature? It's more avenues of how to meet people rather than actually like, you should say this or icebreakers or whatever. If this video does hit 25 likes, I will do a second part, if that's something people would enjoy, about icebreakers and different ways and means of conversation. But yeah, if you're viewing this in 2050 and it still hasn't got 25 likes, drop me a DM on Instagram. I'm jh_vlogs7. So please go follow me on there. Hit the subscribe button as always. And let's get into the video with tip 1, door wedges. So door wedges are a great way to meet people in the same accommodation as you. When you first move in, everybody tends to move in at different times, earlier or later. If you move in, have your door open, people might pop their head round the corner and come and say hello. So it's one way you can actually meet people by doing virtually nothing, just by setting up your room, and you get people come in and say hello and talk. And I know that somebody in my flat was very kindly bought a pack of 10 door wedges, and yeah, it just all gave us something like to talk about, and like, yeah, it's very easy if you've got any questions, because I mean there's a lot of people doing a lot of things for the first time. It's just nice to be able to pop in and say hello very informally. If you get chatting, then brilliant. That brings me on to the second way, which is to bring snacks. And this is a great way to make friends. I think it says a lot about me. In fact, when I turned up to university, I thought about doing this with ciders and beers, but not everybody's into that, so snacks were great. I know there's again one person in my flat who was amazing from this point of view. They bought Doritos, and they opened this share pack of Doritos, and we sat in the kitchen, and we just began talking. And as I said, some people moved in early, some moved in later, and one by one we all sort of trickled in and like shared this packet of Doritos. So I think that was a great way to make friends. Like, who wouldn't like somebody who brings them snacks without going over the top? So yeah, that's my second tip on how to make friends at uni. Third piece of advice I have for making friends at university is by taking advantage of freshers and the general events going on around the university. So freshers isn't something that went perfectly for me. It's the only time I contemplated leaving the uni or contemplating whether it was for me or not. But then it turned out the people that I'm now closest friends with lived just a flat away from me. I just hadn't met them at the time. It's all about going out, using the different events they've been put on for a reason. Universities have seen hundreds of thousands of people come and go, and how they need to meet and interact, and yeah, tried and tested measure. I know one group that met in freshers and have stayed extremely close since, but I mean, it's not for everybody. That was a shout out to flat B 3.2. So, I mean, there's quite a few ways I've mentioned already. Fourthly, I'm going to say, you'll probably hear this quite a lot, was joining societies. Now, when you join a society, presumably you're going to have an interest in common with other people at the society. That's why you're at the event. But on top of that, they also have socials, they have events, they have formals. It's a really good chance to meet other people and talk. And then from there you can see like, who do you like spending time with, etc, etc. Begin to make friends that way. Universities normally have a list online. I know the University of Reading does, where I study, of all different societies and clubs. So it might be worth checking that out if you're either a new student going somewhere, or, I mean, there's hundreds of societies, I don't know them all at Reading. It might be worth, again, refreshing my own mind, thinking about that. But, yeah. And on top of the societies, a fifth way to meet new people and make more friends is by trying new things. The way I see it is like, there's a lot of risk and reward involved in things. If you go along, if you try something new for the first time and you don't like it, so what? You've lost, what, an hour of your time, 2 hours of your time? There's that many people doing that many things, everyone's trying to get settled. Nobody will remember you as, oh, that kid who tried something and didn't like it. I know everybody's so almost self-centered and focused on themselves that it doesn't matter. Whereas on the flip side, if you go and you enjoy it, you find a lifelong activity there. Not only that, you've got the chance to bond with all those other people that are also enjoying it and on the same journey. That's the other thing you've got to remember. Everybody's on the same journey. Everybody's out there looking for friends, but I'll touch on that more later. Stick around if you want to find out more. Plug, plug, plug. But yeah. Another way to make more friends is to talk to them before you join. Now, I can't speak for every uni here, but say Reading in particular, there was a lot of chats when I first joined. Chat for this, chat for that, chat for the other, and like there was that many going on. It was hundreds of people. Now, if you talk in those, you may be helpful, or you may not get recognised as much. What I would recommend is if you talk on, say, a course-specific chat, or if you can find out through a wider chat and narrow it down to people you'll be living in accommodation with and talking and chatting on Facebook groups there. But on to the seventh way, and this isn't a sponsored video that I would advise making friends, is by downloading the app Campus Society. Now, this was brilliant for me. I met 4 people on there. One of them transferred universities, so I never got to meet them. One of them's at the uni, I never met them anyway. And the other 2, 2 of my closest friends now at the uni. So that was brilliant for me. Again, that was called Campus Society. And it matched people on the course at the university, but everybody on there was looking to meet other people and diversify and talk. And as I said, I found 2 of my closest mates on there, so that was brilliant for me. The 8th way I'd recommend is actually to be inquisitive in places that you already are. So, for instance, if in lectures there's a lot of bonding exercises on for the first week, or like group work, or meeting people, or in the library, if you just ask somebody, oh, could I have help with this, or oh, do you know how to do this, or the opposite, if you see somebody struggling, oh, would you like help with this, that can just start a conversation. From there you can talk, or it could even be, say, waiting for the bus shelter, so buses aren't something I'm particularly good at by any means, asking someone, do you know when the next one is? And then it's just another way to like talk to somebody who you wouldn't otherwise talk to. Like, yes, you're already there, but would you speak to them otherwise? Like, even if you know the answer, it can just be simple as starting a conversation, then from where things can flourish. And then onto the 9th tip I've got about how to make friends is that once you start talking to these people and you start realising that you enjoy the conversations, don't just stop there. Try and keep it going further. So, for instance, ask if you're going to the shop, oh, would you like to go to the shop after this? Or, oh, would you like to go to the library after this? Would you like to get a coffee and talk about things? Or like, oh, where have you been in Reading already? Also, as if you're at the University of Reading, obviously, like, oh, have you been here yet? Have you been there yet? Then, oh, would you like to go and see that if you haven't already? Or is there anything you particularly want to see in this place? And then it's just building from there. It's like, oh, do you want anything from the shop? Oh, do you want to come with me to the shop? Gym groups? So like building upon what you already have. And then my 10th tip is actually just to stop worrying. You know everything that you need, how to make friends. It's just very daunting, the whole idea of being dropped in this university where you mainly know 1 or 2 people. But the fact of the matter is 99% of the people there only know 1 or 2 people. Everybody's there looking to make friends. I mean, a few slightly unethical tests have proven that humans don't do well without socialising. We aren't robots, we're there again to enjoy and to make friends. And I just found that the whole cliqueiness really dies out at university. That whole thing gets sort of left at school, at sixth form. I know it's a generalisation, but it's just what I found from my own studies. So I said, don't worry, like you're there with thousands and thousands of people. If you don't find somebody right away, oh no, I didn't find any for somebody right away. No, I've got some of the closest mates I've ever had at any point. And we get on great. So, just don't worry about it. On top of this, you've got to remember that friendship's a 2-way thing. Like, you're going to spend a lot of time with these people. You could even potentially live with them in later years. So make sure that you find the people that are right for you and the people you feel comfortable around and that make you happy and that don't drain you. Don't pretend to be somebody you're not going to be, because you could get found out for it and it could like backfire on you. Whereas if you're taking more time to act how you want to be, and then you end up with a lot more happiness at the end of it. I mean, this obviously isn't an exclusive list of ways to make friends. I mean, you could go out, you could buy the finest ingredients and cook the most delicious dish anyone's ever had. But 1, is that practical? And 2, is that the right way to be meeting people? But I mean, if I have helped anyone, then this video is successful. Even if it's just an icebreaker, oh, look at this kid on the internet chatting absolute rubbish. Like, even if I just do something like that, then this video is worthwhile. But yeah, I hope I have helped somebody some way. So thank you very much for your time and have a wonderful rest of your day.